Hey guys, happy Sukkot, Moadin L'Simcha. So, in 1946, the Nazi by the name of Julius Streicher, right before he was hanged, his last words were Purim Fest, 1946. Interestingly enough, the day he was hanged wasn't Purim. That day was Hoshana Rabbah. If you look back on the calendar and you line it up with the Hebrew calendar, it was Hoshana Rabbah. Hoshana Rabbah is the last day of Sukkot. It's interesting because it almost seems like, or it probably is, that the fact that Streicher and his friends knew who they were. They knew that they were the modern day embodiment, maybe even what's called the Gilgulim, the reincarnations of Haman and his sons. And there's a whole other idea that talks about that connects it to Purim, etc., etc. It's called the Purim Code. Recommend you guys check it out. But interestingly enough, if you look at etymology, if you look at history, the Nazis called themselves Aryans. And actually, today's modern day, what is Iran, which used to be Persia, interestingly enough, that's where Haman is from. But Iran is called Iran because of the Aryans. That's actually where the Aryans are from. And I'm not going to get into this whole story, but there were Nazi eugenicists who traveled to Iran, and they were doing all kinds of tests and all kinds of genetic experiments and different studies, and they erroneously, I guess, came to the conclusion that they are also Aryan. They're somehow related to the people that live in Iran. And it's funny because it is erroneous on a biological and kind of anthropological level in terms of anthropology. But it's interesting how that connection was made. And so we have the Nazis and Aryan, Iran, Persia, and Haman. Interesting, right? As Yom Tov Glazer would say. Guys, so we have a Kabbalistic tradition. I don't have the source in front of me now, and it's a reason why we read the chapters of Zechariah 14, Zechariah 14, and Yehezkel, Ezekiel 38, that talk about the war of Gog and Magog, because we have a tradition that the war of Gog and Magog would start on Sukkot. And in particular, there are some sources that say specifically on Hoshana Rabbah. So guys, I don't know if you noticed, we have this whole deliberation in Israel. When are we going to attack Iran or retaliate against Iran? Hoshana Rabbah is the day, it's the last day of Sukkot, and it's the day before Simchat Torah, and actually the day before Shmini Atzeret. But, as we know, in the diaspora, Simchat Torah and Shmini Atzeret are two separate days. It's a 2-day holiday. If I'm not mistaken, you first have Shmini Atzeret. Shmini means 8. And then, the 8th day after Sukkot. And then you have, the day after, you have Simchat Torah. Right? In Israel, they're both celebrated on the same day. And we know that October 7th, the attack on October 7th, was Simchat Torah. So, my friends, if we were to fulfill the sources, I guess the prophecies, if you want to call them that, and do what we need to do. And if this happens on Hoshana Rabbah, the day before Simchat Torah, that would probably be the ultimate poetic justice. Or, in the words of Rabbi Mendel Kessen, my good friend, let's see what happens. Alright guys, Moadim L'Simcha, B'ezrat Hashem. Talk to you soon.